letter from the Gantry.
Thank you, Neil. The dust may have settled on the final Merseyside Derby stage at Goodison Park. Both Everton and Liverpool have played since and posted important wins. But the memories of the action will be passed down from generation to generation in that football-crazy corner of England. Beto, the forward with a reputation for fluffing his lines, was word perfect for Everton's opening goal. Liverpool's equaliser came from a World Cup winner, no less, Alexis McAllister. Mo Salah put his indelible stamp on proceedings, of course, 2-1 to the red half of the city. From a sure bet like Salah to a total outsider in the scoring stakes, James Tarkowski might have headed an equaliser or bundled the ball over the line in a characteristic show of commitment to the blue cause. But a thunderous strike of power and technique, no chance. No chance, it turned out, for Alisson in the Liverpool goal. What timing, too, in the execution of his shot and what was on the referee's watch. It was the last kick of the night, the end of the road for Goodison Merseyside derbies. Arne Slot and his assistant cried foul in the build-up to the goal, a rare blot on the Slot copybook, the Dutchman usually dignified and controlled. In the week of the release of the movie Bridget Jones' Mad About the Boy, on our screens we also had Curtis Jones, mad about the joy of Everton's Abdoulaye Doucouré, who in a daft, provocative act was showing his delight in front of crestfallen Liverpool supporters. In terms of sendings off, it finished Everton 1, Liverpool 3. But the real scoreline of 2-2 made for a perfect ending. Statistical symmetry. Everton 41 wins, Liverpool 41 wins in the home Everton moved to when they fell out with the landlords of their previous ground, a certain Anfield. It was the 38th draw and reminded me of what I regard as the greatest Goodison derby it has been my privilege to commentate on. Back in 1991, the two rivals had been paired together in the fifth round of the FA Cup. Liverpool were at home, but couldn't finish off Everton. 0-0 meant a replay at Goodison Park. February the 20th, 1991. These were the early years of satellite television and very infrequent live matches on any TV channel. Sky Sports was just starting and had acquired a company that had set out to be a rival. It was the Sky Dish versus the Squarial. Sky had won that battle and in doing so acquired the right to these live FA Cup ties. And in the deal, they also got Andy Gray and me. Because of the relatively new concept of channels devoted entirely to sport and the uncertainty in the technology, the audience numbers had been small, very small. It's no exaggeration to say, though, that the events of that fifth round FA Cup replay turned out to be publicity gold. Liverpool, top of the league, then as now. They led 4 times. Ian Rush cut through and a clearance off the line led to Peter Beardsley putting the Reds in front. Graham Sharp levelled in the second half, a typical far post header from the Scot. Beardsley's second goal was all his own work, a fierce drive past Neville Southall after a pacey, mazy run. Only for Sharp to respond again for Everton, scrambling the ball away from Steve Nicol and over the line. Then Rush headed in a Jan Molby cross, 3-2 to Liverpool, and they were seconds away from a place in the quarter-finals until substitute Tony Cottee showed his own instinctive eye for goal. Extra time, and John Barnes cut in from the left and curled in a sumptuous goal with his right foot, like a modern-day inverted winger. But John delivered his splendid contribution to this mesmerising match with his weaker foot. Surely Liverpool were through now, but Cottee dug out another chance. 4-4, and in those days, and actually for the final season in the FA Cup history, you kept on going. It meant a second replay, and Everton won the toss to bring Liverpool back to Goodison. After the 4-4, Andy Gray and I were in the post-match company of both managers. Howard Kendall, Andy had played for him, of course, in his first spell in charge. Now it was his second spell. And Kenny Dalglish. In light conversation, I had suggested that this was maybe the greatest Merseyside derby ever. Kenny shot me down instantly, plumping for an earlier game at Goodison in his time with the club, which Liverpool had, of course, won, as opposed to only drawing that night. It was friendly, relaxed chat at the end of a long evening. Within 36 hours, I was to learn that it was also the end of an era. Kenny Dalglish had resigned. It was a shock to the whole football world, but particularly to those of us who'd enjoyed his company at Goodison Park straight after the 8-goal cup tie. The reasons are now well documented. Kenny Dalglish had been at the heart of the trauma of Hillsborough. No one could have represented Liverpool Football Club like he had done in the best part of 2 years since the tragedy. His commitment to the grieving families and fans had been unwavering. The stress of his selflessness had taken its toll. Ronnie Moran took charge of the second replay, which we did cover. Everton won 1-0. One graphic report of the 4-4 draw said that Merseyside Derby should come with a health warning. That one did, which Kenny Dalglish recognised, and he was still firmly in the red corner for the final Liverpool visit to Goodison 34 years later. And of course, eased his way back into management in the interim, including another crack at Anfield. This season's finale will be on most neutrals' list of great Goodison derbies, but do not suggest that to King Kenny. His beloved Reds didn't win.